Please take note that for demonstration purposes, we will be using the Horizon server in this video. This video will also serve as a guide to configure our Meridian server as well. Welcome. This video will go over the Alarms and Rules section in Horizon's Admin Center. To begin the configuration, we must first access Horizon's Admin Center client. From the home page, there are two different ways to access the Rules and Alarms page. Under the Advanced Setting column, you'll find a quick link which will direct us to the location, as well as on the left-hand sidebar, where it can also be accessed via the icon for Rules and Alarms. Once you're at your workspace, you can choose to begin configuring your alarms or your rules depending on what you're creating within the system. We're going to use a very simple scenario in creating an alarm and a rule to activate that alarm within the system. The first step is to create the alarm. Go ahead and click on the Add Alarm button at the top of the screen. One thing to be aware of, that anything that's specified as a mandatory field is done so with the little red asterisk next to it. Not all fields within the work area need to be completed. We'll first be giving our alarm a new name. We're going to call this our front door alarm. Next, we can decide if we would like to prioritize our alarm. As you can see, there are a few different degrees of priority that can be selected. Additionally, we can choose to have the alarm cleared automatically after a certain duration of time, or even use this as a triggering mechanism to start the camera recording. We also have the ability to associate one of our existing cameras with the alarm. For this case, if we decide to choose a camera, for instance our front door camera, and use the arrow to slide it over to the right hand side of the page, we can specify that when this alarm is activated, we can choose to display this camera live on screen, or even some playback footage that you can define here in the next section. Lastly, and again another mandatory field, is you must select at least one recipient for this alarm. Once all the information has been defined, a simple click of the Save button will update all the information, and you'll see the new alarm that you created here in the list. Let's move on to the next step. Under the Rules tab, you have the ability to add a rule in the same method that we did with the alarms. The first thing we're going to do is give a rule name. We're going to call this our front door open. Under the next section, you can define the event information. The first thing that we're going to do is select an event that's going to trigger the rule. What we're going to do is we're going to utilize one of the input pins from the system. Next, you can define which position it will need to be in order to cause this event to take place. We can either have it set to abnormal open or set to normal. We're going to use the set to abnormal open state. And then lastly, we're going to choose the input pin from our system. As you can see, I have two defined input pins that are available for me to utilize here. I'm going to go ahead and choose my front door contact. In the next section, we'll define the action. What's actually going to take place when this input pin goes to the abnormal state. In the action section, we can define a specific rule. From the drop-down list, you'll find various actions that can take place for this event. For this example, we're going to trigger the alarm that we created just a few minutes ago in the alarm section. Next, from the drop-down, we'll choose the alarm from the list. And last, the Save button. As you can see, the Alarms and Rules section is a powerful tool which gives you flexibility to create many different scenarios within the system. For additional information, you can access the help guide in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. This will provide additional information in regards to the rules and alarms that can be created within the system. Again, thank you for your time, and be on the lookout for additional training videos brought to you by DVTEL's TCX Training Department.